In the vast, unregulated expanses of international waters, a complex geopolitical drama unfolds daily, a silent battlefield where technology, intelligence, and strategic capabilities determine the balance of maritime power. The Caribbean Sea, a critical maritime corridor connecting South and North American continents, has long been a critical zone for transnational criminal operations, particularly narcotics trafficking networks that exploit maritime vulnerabilities. On September 2, 2025, a meticulously planned U.S. Navy maritime intervention would redefine the boundaries of naval interdiction, demonstrating an unprecedented fusion of technological surveillance, intelligence gathering, and precise military response. The target: a vessel associated with the Tren de Aragua criminal group, operating in international waters with a suspected substantial narcotics payload. This operation represents more than a singular maritime engagement. It epitomizes the evolving nature of modern naval warfare, a complex ecosystem where electronic warfare, real-time intelligence integration, and precision strike capabilities converge to address emerging transnational security challenges. Advanced sensor platforms, satellite reconnaissance, unmanned aerial vehicles, and integrated combat systems transform oceanic spaces into transparent, controllable operational environments. The intervention challenges traditional understanding of maritime law enforcement, blurring lines between military action, intelligence operations, and strategic deterrence. It reveals a new operational paradigm where technological superiority can neutralize sophisticated criminal maritime infrastructure with surgical precision, minimizing collateral risks while maximizing strategic intelligence gathering. As global maritime dynamics become increasingly complex, this operation offers a critical window into the future of naval warfare, a future where information, technology, and strategic capabilities determine not just tactical outcomes, but broader geopolitical narratives. Welcome to the maritime shadows of the 21st century, where every nautical mile tells a story of technological innovation, strategic calculation, and the relentless pursuit of maritime security. The early morning maritime darkness of September 2, 2025, stretched across the Caribbean's vast operational theater, a region increasingly complex with transnational narcotics trafficking routes. U.S. naval surveillance platforms, a network of satellite, aerial, and maritime sensors, maintained continuous electronic watch over strategic sea lanes connecting Venezuela's coastline with potential Caribbean transfer points. The E-2D Hawkeye airborne early warning aircraft, circling at 25,000 feet, swept the region with its AN/APY-9 radar, capable of detecting minute surface signatures across hundreds of nautical miles. Specialized signals intelligence packages mounted on high-altitude reconnaissance platforms parsed through electronic noise, searching for anomalous communication patterns that might indicate illicit maritime movement. The Maritime Domain Awareness System, a complex integration of signals from multiple classified sources, began registering subtle perturbations in the normal oceanic traffic flow, a digital whisper that something unusual was developing beneath the pre-dawn horizon. The initial detection came through a subtle electronic signature, an anomalous radar cross-section moving with deliberate, non-commercial navigation patterns. Advanced maritime tracking systems, integrated through the U.S. Navy's comprehensive Aegis network, began correlating multiple intelligence streams. Signals intelligence, satellite imagery, and maritime traffic monitoring converged, painting an increasingly precise picture of a vessel displaying characteristics consistent with known drug smuggling profiles. Irregular speed variations, minimal electronic communication, and a route deviating from standard maritime corridors. Specialized maritime interdiction analysts working from a classified command center began running real-time predictive models. The vessel's movement suggested a carefully planned transit, likely carrying a substantial narcotics payload from Venezuela, a route increasingly favored by transnational criminal groups like the Tren de Aragua. Precision tracking systems locked onto the target, triangulating its position using a combination of satellite infrared signatures, radar returns, and electronic emissions analysis. Each data point refined the operational picture, transforming a vague maritime contact into a defined strategic threat. As dawn's first light began illuminating the sea's surface, the unidentified vessel became visible to naval reconnaissance assets. High-resolution electro-optical sensors on unmanned aerial vehicles provided real-time imagery, revealing a mid-sized maritime vessel with modifications typical of narcotics transportation, reinforced hull sections, additional fuel capacity, and minimal crew-visible deck equipment. The engagement parameters were rapidly solidifying. A substantial maritime target, potentially carrying a significant narcotics payload, operating in international waters with apparent intent to transit critical shipping lanes. Military decision-makers faced a complex tactical calculus. The vessel represented not just a drug interdiction opportunity, but a potential strategic statement about maritime security and international law enforcement capabilities. Previous interdiction protocols typically involved Coast Guard or law enforcement intercept. This emerging scenario suggested a more direct military intervention. Classified communication channels buzzed with tactical assessments, weighing the risks of a kinetic military response against the potential intelligence value of the target. Command decisions would need to be swift, precise, and calibrated to minimize collateral risks while neutralizing the identified threat. And just as the tracking systems locked final coordinates, a critical question emerged. Would this be a standard interdiction or something far more decisive? The maritime battlespace was about to transform, and the next moments would determine the operational trajectory of this high-stakes maritime encounter. The decision to engage emerged from a carefully orchestrated command sequence that integrated real-time intelligence from multiple classified sources. U.S. naval operational protocols demanded comprehensive verification before any kinetic action, especially in international waters involving potential transnational criminal entities. The Tren de Aragua vessel, now confirmed through multiple intelligence streams, represented more than a simple drug interdiction target. It was a strategic maritime threat requiring precision intervention. Advanced surveillance platforms continued their relentless tracking, feeding continuous data into the integrated naval combat systems. Aegis-class tracking algorithms calculated potential intercept vectors, weapon system readiness, and potential engagement scenarios with millisecond precision. The Maritime Domain Awareness Network, a complex integration of satellite, airborne, and sea-based sensors, maintained an unblinking electronic vigil, transforming oceanic space into a transparent operational environment where no movement remained undetected. As the engagement protocol activated, specialized naval strike assets began positioning themselves for potential intervention. Unmanned aerial vehicles maintained persistent surveillance, providing real-time visual and electronic intelligence about the target vessel's configuration, speed, and potential defensive capabilities. Military analysts assessed the vessel's structural modifications, noting characteristics typical of sophisticated drug trafficking operations. Reinforced hull sections, non-standard communication equipment, and propulsion systems designed for extended maritime transit. The command structure deliberated potential response options, weighing the strategic implications of a direct military strike against a vessel operating in international waters. Classified communication channels buzzed with tactical assessments, evaluating not just the immediate threat, but the broader geopolitical consequences of a decisive military intervention. The vessel's association with the Tren de Aragua criminal group added layers of complexity to the operational decision-making process, requiring a response that balanced military effectiveness with diplomatic considerations. The moment of decisive intervention arrived with a precision that reflected decades of refined naval warfare doctrine. Presidential authorization for a military strike transformed the maritime encounter from surveillance to active neutralization. Specialized naval strike assets operating with near instantaneous coordination prepared to execute a targeted intervention designed to eliminate the maritime threat with minimal collateral impact. The selected engagement method, a direct military strike, represented a significant escalation in maritime interdiction protocols, signaling a new approach to transnational criminal maritime operations. Weapon systems locked onto the target with computer-guided accuracy, transforming years of technological development into a singular moment of strategic intervention. The vessel, which moments before had been moving with calculated stealth across international waters, now found itself at the epicenter of a decisive military response. As targeting systems completed their final calculations, the maritime battlespace prepared for a transformation that would redefine the boundaries of maritime security and international law enforcement capabilities. The next moments would determine not just the fate of a single vessel, but potentially establish a new precedent in how maritime threats would be addressed in the complex geopolitical landscape of the mid-2020s. The Precision Strike Protocol, activated with a clinical efficiency that reflected years of advanced naval warfare training and technological development. Aegis Combat Systems, integrated across multiple platforms, coordinated a multi-dimensional approach to neutralizing the maritime target. Electronic warfare packages began saturating the target's potential communication and defensive systems, creating an electromagnetic environment designed to isolate and suppress any potential counter-response. Specialized jamming technologies, developed through decades of military research, began disrupting potential communication channels, effectively creating an electronic quarantine around the vessel. The maritime interdiction zone transformed into a tightly controlled operational space where every electronic signal could be monitored, analyzed, and neutralized with near instantaneous precision. Advanced phased array radar systems track the target's minimal electronic emissions, building a comprehensive electronic intelligence profile that would inform every subsequent tactical decision. As the initial electronic suppression unfolded, specialized naval strike assets prepared their kinetic response. Unmanned aerial vehicles maintained persistent surveillance, providing real-time visual and electronic intelligence that fed directly into the targeting systems. The selected engagement method represented a calculated blend of technological superiority and strategic precision, a direct strike designed to neutralize the maritime threat with minimal potential for collateral damage. Military analysts had carefully mapped the vessel's structural vulnerabilities, identifying optimal points of intervention that would maximize mission effectiveness while minimizing potential environmental or unintended human risks. Classified communication protocols ensured that every aspect of the intervention was documented, analyzed, and integrated into a comprehensive operational assessment. The vessel, now completely isolated within an electronically controlled maritime battlespace, found itself confronting a level of technological overmatch that rendered traditional evasion or defensive strategies obsolete. The Precision Strike's initial impact created an instantaneous transformation of the maritime battlespace, generating a complex tactical environment that demanded continuous, real-time strategic reassessment. Multiple naval sensor platforms captured the moment of weapon system impact with forensic detail, tracking the precise kinetic effects across electromagnetic and physical spectrums. High-resolution electro-optical systems mounted on unmanned aerial vehicles provided millisecond-by-millisecond documentation of the target's structural disintegration. The vessel, previously a potential narcotics transportation platform, began experiencing catastrophic structural failure, with initial impact points creating cascading systemic vulnerabilities that rapidly compromised its maritime integrity. Specialized naval intelligence packages analyzed the engagement, collecting granular data about weapon system performance, target characteristics, and the broader operational implications of this maritime interdiction protocol. The electronic warfare environment remained saturated, preventing any potential communication or distress signals from penetrating the tightly controlled operational zone. As the initial strike generated its predictable tactical effects, specialized naval assets maintained persistent surveillance, preparing for potential secondary responses or unexpected tactical complications. The Tren de Aragua vessel's structural breakdown presented a complex maritime forensics challenge, with naval intelligence teams already preparing to extract maximum informational value from the unfolding scenario. Advanced maritime domain awareness systems tracked debris fields, electronic signatures, and potential survival indicators with near instantaneous computational precision. Military analysts began constructing preliminary operational assessments, evaluating weapon system performance, target characteristics, and the broader strategic implications of this maritime intervention. The engagement represented more than a simple narcotics interdiction. It was a demonstration of advanced naval warfare capabilities, a precise technological intervention designed to communicate strategic resolve through overwhelming technological superiority. Every aspect of the maritime encounter was being documented, analyzed, and integrated into comprehensive operational intelligence packages. The final stages of target neutralization unfolded with a clinical precision that transformed military doctrine into immediate operational reality. Remaining vessel fragments continued their descent through maritime space, creating a dispersed debris field that would become a critical forensic investigation site. Specialized naval recovery and intelligence assets began preparing for subsequent investigative protocols, understanding that the physical remnants of the engagement would provide crucial intelligence about narcotics trafficking methodologies, vessel modification techniques, and potential criminal infrastructure. The maritime battlespace, previously a zone of potential threat, now represented a carefully controlled forensic environment where every fragment, electronic signature, and potential survival indicator would be meticulously documented and analyzed. Naval command structures maintained heightened operational readiness, anticipating potential secondary responses or retaliatory actions from associated criminal networks. The precision of the maritime intervention had transformed a potential narcotics transportation platform into a comprehensive intelligence gathering opportunity, demonstrating the complex, multidimensional nature of modern naval warfare capabilities. And just as the final debris fragments settled into their terminal maritime trajectories, an unexpected electronic signature began emerging from the engagement zone, a potential complication that would challenge the carefully constructed operational narrative. The unexpected electronic signature emerging from the engagement zone triggered an immediate, multi-layered response across naval intelligence and operational platforms. Advanced maritime domain awareness systems rapidly initialized comprehensive threat assessment protocols, analyzing the anomalous signal with computational precision that transformed raw electronic data into actionable intelligence. Specialized signals intelligence packages developed through decades of advanced electronic warfare research began deconstructing the signature, searching for potential communication patterns, survival indicators, or secondary threat vectors. The maritime battlespace, previously believed to be fully neutralized, now presented a complex tactical puzzle that demanded immediate, comprehensive investigation. Aegis combat systems recalibrated their tracking parameters, preparing for potential secondary engagement scenarios that might emerge from the carefully monitored oceanic environment. Naval operational protocols demanded a systematic, methodical approach to investigating the unexpected electronic anomaly. Unmanned aerial vehicles already maintaining persistent surveillance of the engagement zone repositioned their sensor packages to provide high-resolution visual and electronic intelligence about the signal's potential origin. Advanced electro-optical systems scanned the maritime debris field with forensic precision, searching for any indicators of potential survivor activity or secondary maritime assets that might have been obscured during the initial interdiction protocol. Military analysts began constructing multiple predictive models, evaluating potential scenarios that could explain the emerging electronic signature. The Tren de Aragua vessel's destruction had been comprehensive, yet the maritime domain continued to present tactical uncertainties that challenged the initial operational assessment. Classified communication channels buzzed with real-time intelligence updates, transforming the maritime engagement from a completed operation into an ongoing strategic investigation. As naval assets maintained their heightened operational posture, the unexpected electronic signature began revealing its complex tactical characteristics. Specialized signals intelligence teams identified potential communication fragments that suggested a more intricate operational scenario than the initial maritime interdiction had implied. The electronic anomaly hinted at a sophisticated communication infrastructure that extended beyond the single vessel's immediate operational capabilities. Military intelligence analysts began mapping potential communication networks, evaluating the broader strategic implications of the electronic signature's characteristics. The maritime intervention had transformed from a targeted narcotics interdiction into a comprehensive intelligence gathering opportunity that promised to reveal deeper insights into transnational criminal maritime operations. Naval command structures maintained a delicate balance between operational readiness and analytical investigation. Understanding that the electronic signature represented more than a simple communication artifact, it was a potential window into complex criminal maritime infrastructure. The maritime battlespace continued to evolve, with each analyzed electronic fragment promising to unlock deeper understanding of the operational context. And just as the signals intelligence teams began constructing their preliminary assessment, a subtle shift in the electronic landscape suggested that the maritime encounter was far from its conclusive stage. The final phase of the maritime interdiction operation unfolded with a complexity that challenged traditional naval warfare doctrines. Integrated naval intelligence systems began synthesizing the accumulated data from multiple sensor platforms, transforming raw electronic and physical intelligence into a comprehensive operational narrative. Advanced computational analysis packages worked in near instantaneous coordination, correlating signals intelligence, visual reconnaissance, and forensic maritime debris data to construct a detailed reconstruction of the engagement's broader strategic context. The Tren de Aragua vessel's destruction represented more than a simple maritime interdiction. It was a strategic intervention that would potentially reshape understanding of transnational criminal maritime operations in the Caribbean region. Specialized maritime domain awareness systems continued their relentless analysis, extracting granular intelligence from every captured electronic signature, debris fragment, and operational data point. As the operational investigation deepened, naval intelligence teams began mapping the broader infrastructural implications of the maritime engagement. The electronic signatures and forensic evidence suggested a more complex operational ecosystem than the initial narcotics interdiction scenario had implied. Sophisticated communication networks, vessel modification techniques, and maritime transit methodologies emerged from the comprehensive intelligence analysis. Military analysts worked to connect the tactical engagement with broader geopolitical intelligence frameworks, evaluating how the maritime intervention might impact transnational criminal operations, regional security dynamics, and international maritime law enforcement capabilities. Classified communication channels processed multiple layers of intelligence, transforming the maritime encounter from a singular operational event into a comprehensive strategic assessment. The precision of the naval intervention had created a forensic intelligence opportunity that promised to provide unprecedented insights into maritime criminal infrastructure. The final operational resolution emerged through a meticulous process of intelligence synthesis and strategic assessment. Naval command structures prepared comprehensive operational reports that would inform future maritime interdiction protocols, potentially establishing new precedents for addressing transnational maritime threats. The technological capabilities demonstrated during the engagement, from advanced electronic warfare packages to precision strike methodologies, represented a significant evolution in naval warfare capabilities. Military intelligence teams continued their forensic investigation, understanding that the maritime intervention's true strategic value extended far beyond the immediate neutralization of a single vessel. The debris field, electronic signatures, and accumulated intelligence represented a complex, multidimensional intelligence asset that promised to provide critical insights into maritime criminal operations. As the final intelligence packages were compiled, naval strategists began evaluating the broader implications of the maritime engagement. A precise, technologically overwhelming intervention that demonstrated the evolving capabilities of modern naval warfare. The maritime battlespace had been transformed from a potential threat zone into a comprehensive intelligence-gathering environment, with each analyzed fragment promising to unlock deeper understanding of the complex geopolitical landscape of maritime security in the mid-2020s. The U.S. Navy's September 2, 2025 maritime intervention against the Tren de Aragua vessel represents more than a singular operational engagement. It symbolizes a critical inflection point in how maritime security and transnational threat interdiction will be conceptualized and executed in the rapidly evolving geopolitical landscape. The precision, technological sophistication, and strategic comprehensiveness of the operation demonstrated a fundamental transformation in naval warfare capabilities, where intelligence gathering, electronic warfare, and kinetic intervention merge into a seamless, multidimensional operational approach. The engagement revealed critical insights into the complex maritime threat environment of the mid-2020s. Traditional interdiction protocols have been fundamentally reimagined, with military assets now capable of delivering surgical, intelligence-driven interventions that minimize collateral risks while maximizing strategic effectiveness. The operations documentation and analysis provide a critical blueprint for understanding how technological superiority, real-time intelligence integration, and precise military capabilities can address emerging transnational security challenges. More significantly, the intervention signals a new paradigm of maritime security, one where technological overmatch and comprehensive intelligence analysis can neutralize sophisticated criminal maritime infrastructure with unprecedented precision. If you believe stories like this matter, and that we must understand modern war before it happens again, subscribe, like, and comment to support the channel.